Hello guys, Robot1 here, and today I'm doing the Future of Yugioh on my channel today. And today we're going to be talking about quite a few cards that were released last week. We're going to be talking about the new Dark Magician Girl support, including one card that we haven't talked about yet. We're going to be talking about some new a new Red Archfiend card, the new Magician card, and the new Number card that was just revealed, because it was released in the anime a long time ago, and we haven't actually got a print of it, and it seems to be really interesting. So, before I say anything else, for you guys who have not seen this segment before, this is where I talk about cards that I think will be good, cards that I think will be interesting, good, archetypes that will be good, decks that will be good, anything that will be good or maybe interesting in the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or just cards that have just came out and just could be really interesting to talk about. So, for you guys, that is for you guys who haven't seen this before, and let's get on with this. So the first card we're going to be talking about is Berry Magician Girl. Now, Berry Magician Girl is an Earth level 1. Oh, and I don't know what any of these cards do, by the way, because, well, except for the big Magician card, but I don't know what any of the others do. So let's get on to that anyway. So Berry Magician, Earth level 1, Spellcaster effect, 400 attack, 400 defense. So its effect is, if this card is normal summoned, you can add one Magician Girl monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn during either player's turn, when this card is targeted for an attack or an opponent's card effect, you can change this card's battle position, and if you do, special summon one Magician Girl monster from your deck except Berry Magician Girl. Now that's a very good. Now I think this card is very good because it's got two effects. It's got search ability, and it's got a special summoning effect, kind of like the new Dark Magician support, but this one is actually better. Because with the Dark Magician support one, you actually have to discard a spell, but with this it just has to be targeted by an attack or by an effect, which is very good. Plus with its effect to be able to search any Magician Girl card from your deck, or Magician Girl monster from your deck, that can actually be very good for the deck. So that's a very good card, and I think this card will actually be used quite often in the Magician Girl deck. So yeah, that's a very good card as well. So let's move on to the next one, which is the card that has been out for quite a while, Lemon Magician Girl. Now, Lemon Magician Girl is a light, level 2, spellcaster effect, 800 attack, 600 defense monster. Its effect is, once per turn you contribute one Magician Girl monster except Lemon Magician Girl, and one spellcaster type monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so it's basically got Berry Magician Girl effect, but you have to tribute another Magician Girls for it to actually work. So that's not really that good in my opinion. It's okay, but it's not really a great effect to use. Hopefully its next effect will be even better. So its next effect is, once per turn, if this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon one spellcaster type monster from your hand, but its effects are negated. Then change the attack target to that monster, and if you do, halve the attacking monster's attack. Now that's actually really good, because this card could not just be used in the Magician Girl deck, but it could also be used in the normal Dark Magician deck, which could be very useful. So it's actually a very good effect for that, and it's actually quite a good card. Its first effect is a little annoying, because you have to tribute one other Magician Girl card. So you can't really be like, tribute Lemon Magician Girl, search a spellcaster. But if you're going to mix the two decks together, that could actually be very good. And I would love to see what variants you can actually make with these two cards. So that's a really good card. Plus the effect that you can change the attack target to the monster that is summoned can actually be very good as well. So that's a very good card as well. Its first effect is a little iffy, but its second effect has a really good potential, which I think will be really good for the Dark Magician Girl deck or the Dark Magician deck, or a hybrid between the two, seeing as they are technically the same archetype from Yu-Gi. Okay, so the next card we're talking about is Apple Magician Girl. So Apple Magician Girl is a fire level 3 spellcaster effect monster with 1200 attack, 800 defense. Its effect is, once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon one level 5 or lower spellcaster type monster from your hand. Then change the attack target to that monster, and if you do, half the attacking monster's attack. Now that's actually really good, because it's basically got Lemon Magician Girl's effect, but it's a little better, because sure you can't special summon any Magician Girl card, because it has to be level 5 or lower, but that effect is actually really good because it means it can half the attacking target's attack and also save your monster, that potentially save the monster that you summon. Because with this you'd probably be summoning, say, not a Dark Magician girl, but maybe one of these other magicians that could be really good. So that's actually a really decent effect as well. Its next effect is, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target up to 3 other Magician Girl cards, monsters with different names in your graveyard, add them to your hand. Now that is a very good effect, because it doesn't exclude itself, meaning you can just keep recycling this card. And also you can recycle the other Magician Girls, like Berry Magician Girl, Lemon Magician Girl, Dark Magician Girl herself, and even the next one we'll be talking about. So that's a very good effect, and I think adding them to your hand is very good. It's too bad that it has to be destroyed, but you're probably just going to set it anyway or normal summon it. So, and if they Raigeki it, it will happen as well. So that's actually a really good effect, so I have to give props to that. It also means the deck will have discard fodder for stuff like Twin Twisters and stuff like that very easily. So that's a very good effect as well. The next card we're going to be talking about is Kiwi Magician Girl. Now, Kiwi Magician Girl is a Wind level 5 spellcaster effect, 1800 attack, 1200 defense monster. Its effect is, during either player's turn, you can discard this card. You can discard this card, Magician Girl monster, from your Magician. Oh, sorry. You can discard this card as cost. Magician Girl monsters you control gain 300 attack and defense for every Magician Girl card monster with different names or on the field and in either player's graveyard until the end of this turn. Spellcaster type monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, or cannot be destroyed by battle card effects, or be targeted by opponent's card effects. Is that in the same effect? Oh no, that's a different effect. So that's when it's on the field. Now, that's a very good. These are two very good effects, because that essentially gives every Magician Girl on the field the same effect as the original Dark Magician Girl, which can actually be really good, because you could be like, oh, I have several Magician Girls engraved. I can activate this effect, give them a max boost of, say, 1200, actually no, more than 1200, a max boost of 1500, meaning a 1500 boost to this would put it on 33, this would be 27, this would be 23, this would be 19, and that boost could actually help you do big damage, which actually could be very good. The only bad thing I have with this card is that it's a level 5, so it would be harder to summon, but because you have Apple Magician Girl, it would actually be kind of easier to summon, and that's actually quite good. So I would have to say this card is, it's a very good card, but if it was a level 4, it would be a better card. And it looks like, because of how it looks like so far, we've got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 5. There might be a level 4 Magician Girl coming out, which could actually boost this archetype and make these cards a little better as well. So that's the Magician Girl support we're going to be talking about. Let's move on to the next cards we're going to be talking about, which is Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant. Now, I believe this is going to be used in the next episode of the new Arc 5 series, so let's see what this can do. Now, this card takes 2 tuner monsters and 1 or more non-tuner monsters to make this card. So, basically, it can be made with 2 tuners, just like the other Archfiend cards, the other really big ones. Oh, why am I not reading what its stats are, sorry. It is a dark, level 10, 3500 attack, 3000 defense monster. So yeah, those are its stats, and it's a dragon synchro effect. Its effect is, must be synchro summoned and cannot be special summoned by other ways. So obviously that's to stop people from abusing it with stuff like Call the Haunted Soul Charge and all of that. Its next effect is, during your main phase 1, you can destroy all other cards on the field. Also, monsters you control other than this card cannot attack for the rest of this turn. Okay, so that's got basically a board nuke effect, other than itself, of course. So it'll be destroying all cards, including your own cards, on the field, so it can do big damage that turn. Sure, other monsters you won't be able to attack, but this is a 3/5, and it's going to be doing at least a big amount of damage, nearly half the life points. So that's a really good effect. Plus, just being able to waste your opponent's deck can be very powerful. Its next effect is, during either player's battle phase, when a spell slash trap card is activated, you can negate that the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And if you do that, this card gains 500 attack. You can only use each effect of Red Dragon Archfiend Tyrant once per turn. Now that is a very good effect as well, because that means it can stop stuff like Mirror Force, it can stop stuff like D-Prism, it can stop stuff like Second Knights of Armor, Negate Attack, Storming Mirror Force, Blazing Mirror Force, all the Mirror Forces, Call of the Haunted, all this different stuff that you could activate in the battle phase to prevent yourself from dying, and it's just a very good effect. So that's a very good card to use, in my opinion, and it's a great thing to use. So this is probably one of the better Archfiend cards, and I think it'll be used in mainly Synchron decks because it's a very good effect. It's a very good card, and if you can maybe put it into something like trying to think of something. You could even actually you could put it into Yang Zings as well. Even though Yang Zings aren't really competitive right now, they're still a very good deck. It's just they've not got a good. It's just no one's using them currently. So maybe if people start using them, they'll start using this again, and it will actually be very good for the deck. So let's move on to the next card, which is Nirvana High Paladin. Now, this is the first Pendulum Synchro monster in the entire game. This is one of the most broken cards that I've ever seen. I know parts of its effects, I've forgotten some of them, but let's just get into this. Now, Nirvana High Paladin is a dark, level 10, scale 8, 3,500 attack, 2,500 defense monster. Its pendulum effect is, pendulum monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle while attacking. Also, you take no battle damage from those attacks. At the end of the damage step, if a pendulum monster you control attacked, all monsters your opponent currently controls lose attack equal to the attacking monster's attack until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. So that's an amazing effect. The pendulum effect is actually quite good because it means your pendulum monsters can't die when you attack your opponent. When they attack your opponent, you're not going to take damage, plus all their monsters are going to lose attack equal to that pendulum monster. And it's actually going to be really good because if you have something, say, like Odd Eyes on board, because if this card seems like you would use it in Odd Eyes Magicians, obviously, it's one of Yugioh's cards. So you'd summon it off Odd Eyes Magician, and then just be like, okay, going ham, gonna do good, let's do this crap. So that's a very good card, and let's see what its monster effect is. We're not on that. Now this is probably one of the biggest texts I've seen in a long time. So let's get into this. Now, it takes one tuner and one or more non-tuner synchro monsters. So it's got a little harder to summon, but it doesn't matter because it's still a really worth it card. Now, its effect is if this synchro summon card, if synchro summoning this card, you can treat a pendulum summoned pendulum monster you control as a tuner monster for that summon. So already you're going to use a pendulum monster that isn't even a tuner to make this card. So that's already amazing. So far I'm seeing in Odd Eyes Magicians I could be using stuff like Time Gazer and Clearwing, Time Gazer and what else? Time Gazer and Clearwing, Time Gazer and Odd Eyes Rebellion, no, not Odd Eyes Rebellion, Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. Like, there's two ways to make this, and I could even play that Timebreaker Magician as well, because that would be very good as well to make this card. Also because of Timebreaker's effect. Its next effect is, if this card is synchro summoned using a pendulum monster as a tuner, you can target one card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So that's another great effect. It's basically got a Demock effect, but for every card in the game. So you could be like, oh, I've got a Vanity's Emptiness in the grave. I'm going to add that Vanity's Emptiness back. Oh, I've got a Solemn Strike in the grave. I'm going to add that Solemn Strike back. Oh, I've got a Magispector Unicorn in the grave. I'm going to add that card back. You can basically add any card you want back from the graveyard, and that's a very good effect as well. So that's a very good effect. And its next effect is, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can halve your opponent's life points. Konami. Konami. Jesus Christ, Konami. Now, I forgot about this effect. Now, that is just amazing. Konami have literally made this on crack. Because legit, destroy a monster, you take 4,000. That's game. In Odd Eyes Magicians, that would be game for my opponent. That's just broken beyond belief. Guys, that's just an amazing effect right there, guys. That's just broken. Jesus Christ. But that is an amazing effect right there. That's just completely broken. And its next effect is, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. So that, obviously, that's going to be in the effect. But, oh my lord, that is broken as hell. Because, oh, like, I'm speechless with this card. This card is so damn broken. You can just go amazingly this and this, and I'm speechless, and oh my god, guys, this card is probably going to be one of the broken cards in the game. It's going to be why Odd Eyes Magicians is going to be played. It's going to be broken as hell. This card will destroy Pepe. I don't care. Draco Pals is a dead deck when this card comes out. This card is just amazing, and I can't wait for it because I'm going to be using it myself. Thank God they didn't make it a level 7. If they made it a level 7, how hard it would be to summon. Plus, you'll be able to pendulum summon it back. So that... I'm speechless, guys. I just can't do it. But, yeah, that's Naverna High Paladin, the most broken card in the game. And let's move on to the next one. So the next card we're going to be talking about is the latest number card to be released, coming in the new Dragons of Legend set. Number 100 Numeron Dragon. Now, number 100 Numeron Dragon is a light rank 1. So a light rank 1 Dragon Xyz effect, 0 attack, 0 defense. Its effect is, well, you need 2 number Xyz, to make this card first, you need 2 number Xyz monsters with the same name and rank. Okay. So a little difficult to summon. I guess you could summon it in the Utopia deck very easily, because you can spam Utopia very easily. Its effect is, once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. This card gains attack equal to the combined rank of all Xyz monsters on the field times 1000 until the end of your opponent's turn. Now, that effect could be kind of iffy, because if your opponent has a big board of monsters and none of them are Xyz monsters, then that effect's kind of going to be irrelevant. But it's also the fact that if your opponent has Xyz monsters, this card can be very broken. So I'd say this card would be more better to be used against something like Raid Raptors, Phantom Knights, stuff like that. Because you could, at least against Phantom Knights, you're going to have a max 3k, maybe. Actually, does it say not including itself? No, so it will count itself, so that means it will have a max of, say, 4k. So that, I would say that's a pretty good effect, but let's go on, let's see what else it's got, because that's actually quite a good effect. Its next effect is, when this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy as many monsters on the field as possible, then each player sets 1 spell or trap card from their graveyards to their side, to their field. Now, that's an okay effect, I guess. Because setting a spell or trap card from your graveyard could actually be quite vital. But because it allows your opponent to do it as well, it's not really that good an effect, I would say. So I wouldn't say that's really good. I guess, and I think to activate it, both players have to have a spell or trap card in grave. I am not sure, but it looks like they would. So let's go on to the next effect. See how good that is. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, while you have no cards in your hand and you control no cards, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. Now that's actually quite good. Because you could be like, oh, you're going to attack me? Directly, special summon. And also, this effect isn't once per turn, so that can actually be very good. So that's just a lifesaver that's just like a continuous lifesaver, and your opponent can't really get around it because it can just keep coming back. Now that's an effect that I would actually really like. That's a good effect in the game, so I would have to say that's a really good card. So yeah, guys, that's the last card we're going to be talking about. Tell me what you think of these cards. Tell me if you think Naverna High Paladin is broken as hell. Tell me if you like number 100 Numeron Dragon. And tell me if you like the Magician Girls and the new Red Dragon for support. And guys, thank you for watching the Future of Yu-Gi-Oh on my channel. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and Rubberbat1 signing out. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Goodbye, guys.